to yet another edition of Elets Innovation Talk, a knowledge exchange series featuring healthcare thought leaders. We have the privilege today to welcome Mr. Prasanth Madavana, co founder and CEO of Fedo, an AI driven health tech company. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Garima. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to be in this event.
Pleasure, sir. So, just a little bit about Fedo. It was founded in the year 2018, and Fedo is a predictive health risk analysis company that is harnessing the modern technologies and data to predict the future health risks and is on a mission to reduce the out-of-pocket expenses of people. Mr. Prasanth comes with a rich experience in operations, innovation, and project management, and leads the company's growth and expansion across the geographies. So, thank you for joining us again today, Mr. Prasanth. So, sir, to begin with, if you could tell us about Fedo and how it is reshaping the preventive care ecosystem in the evolving healthcare industry in India.
Sure. So the biggest problem which people are not feeling is the rising incidence of lifestyle diseases. People are more sedate, having or picked up more and more unhealthy behavior, and and a lot of fast food joints have been coming to India, and the affluent is mainly or the middle class and above is going after all those fast food, and that is supposed to be the fad diet in India. And this is a huge problem where a lot of people are falling sick, and the amount of money which people have to spend is huge. The rising healthcare cost is one, and especially in the metros, the healthcare, while the facilities are excellent, the expenses are also um, as expensive as possible. And what we have also seen is in the last year, around 60 million families have gone bankrupt owing to a medical bills. And this is the problem we would like to solve. While this is a huge problem to be solved, and this is too big problem for a single individual or a group of companies can do it. What we are doing is we are building a predictive algorithm or a building a health score, like a CIBIL score is there for your financial capabilities. Fido score will be your benchmark for your health. Now Fido score will tell you how healthy are you, and put this into a score which we call as the Fido score, which ranges from 0 to 1000, where 0 is like a dead guy and 1000 is a superman, both unlikely events. A score of 600 and above is considered to be a healthy individual. But obviously, this is just an indication, and it doesn't mean that you don't have any diseases once you have a high FIDO score, but your risks are reduced. Now, the score is also a compilation of your risk for multiple diseases, and we will tell you that which all diseases are you at high risk, and you go and seek medical expertise on that. And what we believe is people not knowing your risk is a huge issue, even in a developed country like US, where and kidney diseases are one of the most expensive in terms of your financial expenses, and also taxing in terms of your relationship and pain. 96% of the people who have early onset of diseases are unaware of these diseases. And this is where we position to you take a FIDO score, understand your health, and based on that, maybe you can take medical help, an early warning signal for your health conditions.
Right, right. So, once you have the Fedo score, then what is the next step? Are you looking at also collaborating with the probably government agencies or probably hospitals? How do you then? What is the next step for a user?
So, ideally, the next step should be to reach out to your doctor or take a medical test, or so that anything which we using a predictive algorithm cannot replace the doctor. It is only an indication that you go and seek expertise. Now, as of now, as part of our next offering, which we call as an health savings account, which we are launching with a couple of banks, including State Bank of Mauritius and the Neo Bank Open, we will also provide you some access to the medical or at least the telemedicine or a medical test in connection with our partners. While your question of can we partner with the government or other agencies is a very interesting one, and I believe this is something which we will follow up in the next couple of years or so.
Right, right. So, which probably brings me to the next question. What is the vision of your company in the, for the coming financial year?
So, in the next year, we would like to get more people getting aware of this code, and we want at least a lot of maybe reach up to 1 million people who goes through and take this code, and then plan your and seeking medical expenses. Expertise is just one part of it. You need to save money to be able to fulfill those if and any medical emergencies comes up. A lot of people believe that if you are insured you would be able to pay for your medical expenses, but in India insurance is only paying for the hospitalization, and almost 3x times of the hospitalization bills happens to you for buying your medicine, going for the medical tests, etc. So this is, at least we need to reach out to 1 million people or more, make them understand that okay, this is your score, this is your probable health cost, and start saving it, or be prepared for that eventuality. And this is something which we are and along with India's first health savings account, this is our mission for the next year.
So, are there any kind of innovations or strategies that your company is planning in your products or services, or probably in your marketing strategies to reach out to maximum customers and also provide them better services?
So till now we were mostly concentrating on a B2B2C, where we will access companies who have existing clients, open with over 2 million customers, and into five average employees of SMEs. We have a market which we have opened up, which is around 10 million customers. We will also be partnering with other companies in India and outside to reach out to these set of people for the health savings account. In terms of the marketing, we are also partnering in other countries. One of the largest insurance companies in the world have partnered with us. We are also partnering with one of the largest insurance companies based out of South Africa. We have partnerships in the Middle East, which is taking us to multiple other insurance companies. So this is a hybrid of model where uh, for foreign markets, as of now, we are going through a partner. And in India, we go with a B2B2C to reach out to the end.
So, any specific regions you're targeting in India to begin with, or are you looking at pan India reach?
So, one good thing with the digital bank and the digital reach is a lot of, you don't have to actually plan one single place. It would start. We could start both through our partners and DSAs. We'll also be reaching out to our through the social media, and the entire system. We don't have to actually go out for the a specific region. And we had launched an early access platform, early access link in our website, and almost 50% of the requests have come from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So the reach in the new age is massive. That's what we do.
So you mentioned, maximum, requests coming from tier two and tier three cities. So, do you see that, as an evolution that is happening? How do you see this trend? How would you define this trend?
So if you are thinking of, I mean, at least I can talk from Bangalore, where if I need to find a nutritionist or I need to take a medical test, I can call up or use an app to get somebody come to your home and do those tests. And obviously, we are at least more aware of our health risk and the diseases. Obviously, the Google doctor is there, but we are more aware of our risk. It's not that we are taking a preventive step. But in tier two or tier three cities, there is enough connectivity, obviously, in the mobile and the internet. There is money with a lot of people, but their access is limited. You have only one or two set of hospitals and the doctors, and if they want to seek a second opinion, and that is where I believe a lot of this comes, and or they might have to come to a bigger city near to them. And this is something which we believe of digital media like ours will be able to reach to these customers.
Right, right. So, my next two questions are revolve around this only. So, first is, how do you see the digital technology adoption in the coming financial year specifically, and the factors that will affect this?
Definitely. So a couple of stuff which we have launched of figuring out your blood pressure from a video, a short video like this happening, we could figure out a blood pressure of an individual. but it would never be accurate. It cannot be 100% reach right. There is always a matter of your light, your speed of internet, etc. So these are some of the stuff which technologies have evolved and taking it to the people. Now, this is always taken with a pinch of salt. Like maybe your it might be off at a particular time based on multiple other reasons. People are thinking, okay, maybe this is not the ideal situation. But what I believe is technology is improving and reaching out. The difference, at least in the health, between your tier two city or and a metro, is now closing, because the most of the facilities will be reaching in a digital way. People have already done digital or robotic surgery doing in multiple countries, sitting in a different country. So things will come up, but might not be fast. And there is always a skepticism, always there, whether you can trust this because you are not seeing the doctor or the professional face to face.
Right, right. Perfect. And the healthcare industry overall. So, how do you see that evolving? And what are the challenges and opportunities you foresee coming, your way and probably, the entire healthcare industry their way?
So healthcare in India is, at least in the metros, we have as good as care as any other developed country in the world. And India, the hospitals, especially the corporate hospitals and the bigger hospitals, are investing a lot of money in acquiring more resources, and we have the best of the doctors who have seen a lot of cases. Now it is also made the entire cost go up, and obviously the governmental facilities are not caught up with that, while they have still the best of the professionals along with them. Now what is going to happen is there will be always a gap between what is required and what is the concentration of the resources. You have more doctors, more facilities concentrate on certain regions, and lesser facilities but a lot of demand in a different region. Now, the what the technology should be able to do is to do a first cut of or a filtering, where you have go to a tier two city, do the screening process, and only then move them to a different location, or maybe to your base location. Anandai Hospital does that, where they have mobile eye cams in every smaller, even at smaller villages, and if required, people are being sent to the main hospital. And these kind of stuff, a lot of things would be coming to the digital world in some time.
Right.
And along with the government, which also started with the health mission, and data repository is being built, I believe this is in the right steps.
Right, right. So you touched upon, the Ayushman Bharat, the digital health mission that is has been there. So how do you see that mission actually, integrating itself into the healthcare segment and transforming it? And probably the role of private players also. They're looking at forcing partnerships. So how do you see that evolution happening?
So, the example which you should be looking at is the UPI payments. The government has launched UPI, and the entire digital payment, majority of it passes through the UPI in India. But the people who have made it accessible to the end customers are the Paytms, the Google Pay, the Amazon Pay, etc. Where the set of, based on that infrastructure, a set of specific player can come on top of it and build it. I believe this is the same thing which would happen with digital health mission as well, where the data is being shared. You can share your data, even with companies like us, which will use the digital data to improve the predictive capabilities. And in that way, we are really happy that such a option is coming. The second point is the Ayushman Bharat, which is covered almost 50 CR people in India, which is also the bottom of the pyramid. And with almost 5 lakh rupees coverage, people will be getting access to the healthcare. Now, the point is the bottom of the pyramid is covered by Ayushman Bharat, and the top of the, obviously the more the high net worth individuals are anyway having backup, but the huge middle, which is almost 70 crore people in India, are the ones who are not insured, not coming part of Ayushman Bharat and supposed to be slightly above um, the poverty line. So this is the actually the set of people who are going to suffer the most. And all the 60 million families going bankrupt or going down the poverty line happened every year. Last year also was there, the year before that was. So this is the target area which us and anybody who is getting into the healthcare, digital healthcare should be concentrating.
Right, right, right. So you mentioned that you've had association in India and also outside India. So in terms of experience, how has it been in the healthcare domain for you? Like if you compare the models that are outside and are in India, and are there any learning opportunities that are present for the Indian healthcare system to adopt when it looks at the foreign healthcare models?
See, okay, my experience is mostly with Canada and Europe. Both are more of uh, equal opportunity or the government controlled healthcare system. And my personal belief is India has better system, better healthcare providers, better healthcare resources, provided you can pay for it. Even for a simple surgery in Canada, one of my friends, Dan, he had to wait for almost 6 months to get it done. While in India, you can go ahead and get it done, even in a governmental facility. But obviously, there is a cost associated to this. But the other experience is when we work with outside India, it is mostly on the insurance side, where we use this algorithm to make the entire process faster, smoother, and beneficial for both the buyers and the insurance companies. Now, there the difference is evident because the systems are legacy systems. No, even while all these countries have very a lot of health data available, nobody is using this to make a prediction. And this is government. I mean, Europe and uh, Canada, it's government control. So they don't want. I mean, the data is with the government. They don't want to share it. With a lot of privacy rules also associated with this. So this, I believe, this predictive digital health will start in India, and we will take this to other countries because we have access to this data. Good or bad, the privacy laws are not as strong as or people are not much worried. If you go and ask a person, can you share your health data? A lot of people do share this. But saying that we don't take in any personally identifiable information, so I would never know whether it is Garima or Prashant. We know a male age this at this location or a female age this particular location with all this. We keep our we don't as a company we don't take a personally identifiable information. But access to data and access to technology, we believe this digital health will start in India and we will take it to the other countries as well.
Right, right, perfect. And just one last question for what is your roadmap for the future? How do you see Fedo, growing or probably expanding itself across the nation?
So our idea is to be like a CIBIL score. The FIDO score should be the benchmark of health, and we are on the process of getting that. Not just in India, health score is valid or useful in any part of the world, and that is where we wanted us FIDO to go ahead in the next few years or in the next 5 years. We want this to be the benchmark for health. And obviously, making this a benchmark of health is interesting for us. The benefit should be for the people in reducing the out of pocket expenses. Globally, more than 800 million people have problems in the out of pocket expenses. Even countries like US, 60% of the bankruptcies is because of medical reasons. We want to reduce that burden of the people so that healthcare is both accessible and affordable to people. And FIDO will be the catalyst on that on the longer run.
Sorry, I'll just tweak this. One more question for you. AI in healthcare. How where is the future? How what will the shape will be in the coming times?
See, I mean, AI in healthcare is a huge topic. Robotic surgery done in a different country is the start of it. People understanding or implanting chips in your brain. So that's a huge and a vast subject. What I would understand is the predictive algorithm, where I should be able to predict your risk for maximum diseases over the maximum period of time with the lowest amount of data capture. So I should be doing it that in 30 seconds or 60 seconds and tell you what could be your expenses and your diseases risk over the next few years. Um, this is what I believe.
Right, right. Thanks, Mr. Prashant. It was wonderful talking to you and knowing more about Fido and the opportunities that are right there. Thank you so much for joining
Thanks,
us.
Grandma, for the opportunity. Thank you. Bye bye.